the last thing on Charlie Kirk before we move on to a couple other topics is just simply, and you touched on it, you talked about how he was almost singularly impactful. I think I heard you say something earlier in the week on one of your television appearances that his influence almost rivaled that of his political party, the RNC.
Oh, way more.
So it's more. You and I have talked about how the both parties, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, have declined in impact in recent years for a variety of reasons. But you're saying that this guy and his turning point movement had sort of eclipsed the raw political organizing power of one of the two major political parties in the country.
Well, I mean, but we have these perniciously, one of the reasons we have so much partisanship in America is that we have these very weak parties, which are supposed to act as mediating institutions. And I will not go on at length about how bad McCain-Feingold was. And then when it was amplified by the citizens, the rightly decided but very consequential Citizens United decision that the parties are husks of what they were before. And I think that's been part of why we have so much more partisanship. What Charlie Kirk did was build an organization predicated on connecting with, identifying young conservatives on campus, making them feel like warriors, right? That they're in a fight against the dominant culture. And the university system, I am sure you remember this feeling when you were in school, that at Miami of Ohio, that the professors were left, right? That it was left, the conventional wisdom on campus was left among the faculty. And there was, I'm sure, for Republicans on that campus, a thrill, a frisson of excitement that came from, you know what, I'm doing my own thing and you can go to hell. We're loud, we're proud. As campus culture got more and more radical, and as the institutions moved further and further left, the satisfaction, the thwack of that rebellion to the right became more and more powerful. Charlie Kirk tapped into that and raised up, and this is where Democrats have to, they have to, and there's been a lot of acknowledgement of this among Democrats, they have to tip their hats to Turning Point USA and Charlie Kirk, because what they did was what Democrats used to be able to do, which is find disaffected young people, engage with those disaffected young people, and indoctrinate, right? Because if you can get them when they're young, if you can get somebody to form a political ideation when they're in college, there's a very good chance that they're going to stay with it for quite a while. And Democrats always banked on the fact that they had the young people, certainly the young women, but at least half or most of young men, and that it was attrition over time. What Charlie Kirk and Turning Point were such a big part of was not just tapping into that for clicks. A lot of people tapped into that for clicks, but Charlie Kirk actually built an organization that funneled those voters into young people into adulthood and into being part of the electorate. And you saw it very clearly in 2024.